My name is Pete Baxter, and I'm a shaker craftsman. The Shakers were a utopian society that came to the United States in 1790 from England as a means of seeking religious freedom. My first exposure came in undergraduate school, taking an elective course on Shaker life. I didn't know it at the time, but their furniture and the simplicity of the way they made things appealed to me. Later in life, when I became a woodworker, the Shaker things came to the forefront. My first exposure to Shaker boxes and carriers came about by reading an article in a magazine. I thought, okay, I have the skill level to attempt this. The boxes are essentially a storage container. So at the risk of maybe being a little flip, I think the Shakers created the original container store. They were used to store any and all dry goods. Paints, paint pigments, tacks, flour, sugar, nails, buttons. It's a storage container, nothing more, nothing less. Today, I would say they're exactly the same thing. You need some place to store things. Why not store them in a quality piece that will last for generations? The piece that I enjoy making the most is a satin-blind Shaker sewing carrier. It is the most historically correct piece that I make. While it was too ornamental for the Shakers' use themselves, they were good at marketing and selling their wares to the non-believers outside the community. Original carriers were sold without a lid. I include one just simply because it tends to finish the piece and helps keep things neat and tidy. My best seller is a number 3 box with 2 removable trays that I call a Keepsake Box. I make a tall number 17 coffee table that is definitely an attention getter. It's not a piece that the Shakers ever made, so it's just simply making something a little bit bigger and having a more modern day use for it. My chairs are representative of the style made at the Mount Lebanon Shaker Village in eastern New York. All of the villages tended to make chairs, and there are some style differences, but the style that I tend to make is what most people think of and recognize as a Shaker chair. I use a set of tools called a rotary plane. It was originally made for ladder makers. It is a process that will turn a piece of wood round, but not concentric like what you get on a lathe. My tools and methods are a combination of hand tools and power tools, and I don't believe I'm being disloyal to the Shakers in any way, because they were inventors and they embraced technology. A Shaker sister created the circular saw blade. So I believe if their communities were still thriving today, that they would be embracing a lot of the technology and the tools that I use. The Indiana Artisan Program is a juried process that was started by the state of Indiana to recognize the Hoosier State's best crafts and food people. What that means to me is I am in the company of talented artisans, and our individual brands contribute to the Indiana Artisan, and in turn the Indiana Artisan brand represents all of us and provides avenues, venues, and opportunities. I look at what I do, and then I look at some of the other people in the Indiana Artisan and I go, wow, those are creative people. And some days I'm not sure I have a creative bone in my body. When I look at the colleagues and the company that I keep with them. It's a validation of the quality of my work and something that I never really would have ever expected to have happen. Being self-taught means that you make a lot of mistakes, you try a lot of things that don't work, and an axiom that probably fits well in life is that you learn more from your mistakes than you do from your successes. For me, it's a labor of love.